everyone, welcome. This is Vedika Manek from UniVoyage. I'm a second year IIM Indore student, and today I'm here to talk about my IPMAT journey. Firstly, thank you for calling me. And secondly, I'll just break down quickly what all I'm going to be speaking about in this video. Hope you guys stick around. So the first thing I'll be talking about is why I chose IPM. Like my entire dilemma after 10th grade, what career to go for and what stream to choose and why exactly did I start preparing for IPMAT, when did I start preparing for IPMAT. So the entire preparation part. Then I'll be talking a little bit about the on-day exam experience, how exactly did my exam go and what did I feel about my attempt. And then after that, the second further rounds. And later I'll be talking about how IIM Indore has been treating me for the past 2 years. So I hope you guys are interested, and I'll just get started quickly. After starting with my 10th grade, so in 10th grade, I think fortunately or unfortunately, I got a good score. Like I was Air 3 in ICSE. And because of that, there was a lot of pressure from a lot of people कि science ले लो, तुम क्या कर रही हो लाइफ में, तुमने कॉमर्स क्यों सोचा. And I was thinking of going into commerce. So that was a major phase that I had where I just had to keep explaining to people why I thought of choosing commerce and not science. And because of that phase, I felt, even on a personal level, I felt थोड़ा demotivated कि मतलब मैंने कुछ गलत कर लिया, did I do something wrong, like what am I doing, am I actually messing up. So in that whole rush of am I doing the right thing or the wrong thing, I decided let me just start preparing for an entrance exam. And तभी सबसे मतलब applicable और apt CLAT लगा. So I immediately started preparing for CLAT without even thinking whether I want to do it or not. मतलब मैंने इतना 2 सेकंड का thought भी नहीं दिया that is this something that I really want to do, law for 5 years and the kind of profession and the work that I would have to do. Simultaneously, 11th and 12th I was in junior college in Narsi Monji in Mumbai. So junior college ऐसे सबको पता नहीं है, तो there's some stand-up comedy on it. It's basically like a small version of college in 11th and 12th. सबको लगता है scam है और 11th 12th में तो school जाना चाहिए. But to be honest, no, we have a junior college concept in Mumbai. So I was a part of that, and that is under state board. And because of that, I got to work with a lot of clubs and committees, and one of them was the ESL of my college. And that experience like opened up my mind to entrepreneurship. मतलब हम लोग ने ऐसे पूरा summit conduct किया था where we had a lot of leaders and a lot of people who were VPs of the Big Four and big people in big companies that came in and spoke to us about their leadership experiences, or people that had started their own companies. And that is when I realized कि मुझे law तो नहीं करना है, मुझे business में कुछ करना है, management related. So that was when it slowly hit me that things that I'm preparing for are not worth it. And I mean, they're not right for me. They may be right for someone else, but not for me. So after my 12th grade, I gave it a serious thought and I dropped my CLAT prep. Not that मैंने ऐसे कुछ खास prepare किया था उसके लिए, because I was very unsure and I did not yet put in like a good amount of effort during my 11th and 12th, like a serious CLAT aspirant would. So after my 12th grade, I decided IPMAT karna. How I got to know about IPMAT was just when I was inquiring for CLAT, I was told that there is another course, IPMAT also. And I thought ये scam है, मतलब 12th के बाद IIM जाना, it's not something that could be true. And I did my research and I found out that, oh, there is a course, IPM karke, and it seems to be interesting. It has all the subjects that I really love and would want to study, like psychology and even math related courses. So I was someone that loved humanities courses and also someone that liked math a lot. So I thought this is perfect for me because these are all the subjects that I like, and plus it is going to give me entry into a field that I would want to work in, right? So that was when I thought that let me just try preparing for it. And after 12th, I started my board exams. I started my IPMAT prep seriously. When I started, I realized that there are people that have been preparing for 2 years, or there are people that are, repeating a year. And I thought, ये मेरे से तो होने ही नहीं वाला है, because I'm a commerce student and there are JE students that are, that are going to get confirmed seats in IITs and they will just give the paper ऐसे ही और उनका हो जाएगा, तो मेरा तो कोई chance नहीं है. And with that attitude in mind, I started my prep, and I was even told multiple times that don't stress too much on the effort. And this is something that I would like to tell a lot of aspirants also, that don't worry too much about whether it will happen or not. Just start. Like a lot of times we postpone the starting. I even postponed giving mocks because I thought that I will not be good at it, so let me just not give it, with the fear of failure. But if we don't try only, how will we know whether we are going to succeed or we are going to fail, right? So that is something that I feel even you should keep in mind and not stress too much on the outcome of it. Rather, just focus all your thoughts on the effort. And of course, don't keep very high expectations also, because then you will be disappointed. And that is not something that we want, right? So I would say that don't get too attached to it also. And at the same time, don't stress about it and not put in effort just thinking ke hone hi nahi wala hai. So I started my prep like that, and my way of structuring my preparation was that I would do 2 topics within a span of 2 to 3 days. Like I would study the fundamentals of it first through Arun Sharma, and then after that I would practice the LOD1, LOD2, and sometimes LOD3 in topics that were either important or B, topics that I was not good at. So these 2 kinds of topics was where I would go till the last LOD also. And one thing that I realized I should be doing is that after the fundamentals are done of a particular chapter, I can move on to another chapter and simultaneously practice for the first chapter. So what I mean to say is that चलो Monday, Tuesday मेरा number system की पढ़ाई हो गई, जो formulae, जो जितना भी समझना था वो सब हो गया, तो I'm done with that. And Wednesday, Thursday, I can start percentages की पढ़ाई and at the same time practice for number system. Because if I will sit and wait till my entire practice questions are done, then I'll not move on to another topic. And at the same time, if I just finish one topic in a chunk and then move on to another and then another, I might forget the topic that I did at the start. So that was something that I did actively so that I'm in touch with all my topics. I did 2 revisions in total. I mean, I would say 2.5, like 2 I did for all the topics. And my 3rd revision was again for topics that A, I was poor at, and B, that I felt were important for the exam. And another thing that I did that I feel like was, a game changer for me was that within a week or 2 of starting my prep, I gave a mock. I just gave it blindly because I was told that I'm already very late for the, mock giving process. So I just gave one and I got a decent, I got average, ऐसे कुछ खास नहीं था. But when I did it, I realized that, I need to work on these things. And it's not impossible also, because what I was expecting was very, very poor marks. And instead I got around the average. So I felt like if in the first 2 weeks it is this much, it is possible that I can pull it up to a decent score. So that was something that was a game changer for me. And even had it been very bad also, I feel like at least the reality of my place in the prep would have pushed me to work harder. So I would suggest to you guys also that give a mock as soon as you can. Don't think that I'm going to finish my portion and give it, or I will finish, XYZ amount of it, especially now that we're nearing the exam. If you're an 11th grader, I can understand that you can take your time and start a little bit late. Although in UniVoyage, we run a mentorship program with our coaching. So one of my mentees who is in 11th grade has already started with the mocks. And what it does is it gives you good amount of time to analyze it, to sit with it, to learn from it. So that is definitely there. now the preparation was going well, the mocks were going well. One thing that was sticking like a sore thumb was the topic matrices and determinants. So I was not a big fan of that topic, and to be honest, I was very intimidated by it, and it is an important part of the paper. Like, it's not something that you can skip. Tomorrow or day after or whenever one of my mentees ask me कि वेदिका क्या मैं skip कर सकता हूँ या क्या मैं skip कर सकती हूँ, तो मैं बोलूँगी बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Like, it's not something that you can skip at all. I procrastinated doing it till the last few weeks, which was not a good idea in hindsight, because then I became very nervous in the last few weeks that, oh no, I don't know something that is very, very important in the paper. So तभी फिर ज़्यादा panic हुआ, and I had to calm myself down a little. And one thing that helped me for matrices determinants were online YouTube videos. And that is when uni का idea, मतलब ऐसे थोड़ा थोड़ा hint दिख रहा था उसका, but I'll come to uni later. So that was there, that matrices and determinants, I learned a lot through online videos on JEE questions of the same topic. And that helped me during my IPMAT paper attempt. Before IPMAT के मतलब जब IPMAT का paper हुआ उसके बहुत पहले I got my results from other universities also, like Ashoka and NMIMS के I got, and with I don't know what insane amount of God level confidence or what thought process I had, but I did not select in either of the colleges thinking कि IIM इंदौर में ही होगा. नहीं होगा तो फिर मैं NM में लेके CA कर लूंगी और फिर मैं IIM अहमदाबाद ही चली जाऊंगी. But ये मुझे ऐसे मतलब I had this thought process, I don't want to do from a private college, from certain private colleges, even though I respect them and I respect their curriculum and everything, and I personally admire Ashoka a lot, and it was a very tough call for me to let go of Ashoka. Because I had personally gone and visited the college and I loved the campus and the faculty, but वो मेरा final call था कि IIM में ही जाना है, तो फिर अभी नहीं हुआ तो बाद में CA के बाद कर लूँगी. So that was the whole idea that was there. And CLAT I gave because my dad was like, why don't you just give it? And CLAT also I secured a decent rank to get NLU Jodhpur. But till then IPM IIM Indore results had come in. So now talking about the day of IPMAT IIM Indore, some things that I had done before the prep was I had a book where I had all the formulas noted down. I had a book where I had questions that I got wrong in mocks noted down, and I had a normal book that we have where we note down like lengthy explanations of topics while we are studying, तो याद रहेगा वैसे. तो एक तो short form में सब condense था, वो shortcuts वाला formula book था, और एक book था जिसमें सब ऐसे detailed में लिखा था कि ये इसका proof कैसे, ये कैसे formula आया और वो सब. तो I went through the long form content on the previous day of the exam, and I mean, for all the chapters. So it takes a lot of time to go through that for all the chapters. And for the mocks wrong part, I had done that the previous week. I had attempted around 30 mocks up till the exam. I don't remember the exact number, but it was around that. And hamare time pe paper pattern change had also happened. So of the 30, around 9 to 10 were the new pattern mocks that I had attempted. So the mock scores were increasing for the most part, but there were places where they were stagnant. तो वो भी पेट के पूरा लास्ट वीक में एनालाइज किया था कि कहाँ पे मार्क्स जा रहे हैं, क्यों जा रहे हैं, why are they going, which topics are they going. I still have a week, so I can still practice on any topic that I even figure out now that, oh, I find this difficult. Another cool thing I learned in the last week was how to intuitively solve probability and permutation combination questions. So by intuitive, I mean literally just multiplying or adding up and not sitting and writing the formulae. And that helped me a lot during the paper because I was able to solve the questions very quickly because of that, and with good amount of accuracy, because I had practiced a lot of these questions that way, where I can just simply get the answer by intuitive solving. तो वो मुझे बहुत help हुआ, and that was again something I learned through online YouTube videos. So those were a couple of things that in the last few days leading up to the exam were there. Now on the day of the exam, I just did the formula book. I was not even sure if I would remember all of the formulae because I was so nervous. And I went to the exam hall. So when you reach the exam hall, firstly it is so cold in the Mumbai exam center that is there, and I did not know this. And please, if you're going for any exam, you don't know what temperature is going to be there. If it's cold, it might, if you're someone that can't bear the cold, it might hamper your thought process also during the paper. And I was genuinely shivering. It was very cold. I even had to use the washroom in the middle of the exam because of that. So, I mean, carry a jacket. And one thing is there is that they don't allow you to use the keyboard. So they put like they basically shut off the part where the keyboard is there. So you just have to use the mouse for everything. Even the short answer questions, there is a grid where the numbers are there and you can just click on it and you can fill in, punch in the answers. There's an on-screen calculator, although I would not recommend using the on-screen calculator because it is a waste of time. मतलब most questions ऐसे बने हैं कि तुम्हें ज़्यादा calculations करने की ज़रूरत ना हो, unless there is some extraordinary high-level calculation question that you need to do, then ठीक है, you can cross-check. But don't waste your time too much on the on-screen calculator. So that was there कि वो ऐसे ठंड लग रही थी, and the exam hall also, because of COVID, we had to reach way earlier. So there was like a half an hour time gap where some people even slept. And I would again not recommend doing that. I would say get good night's sleep, take a water bottle and all that jazz, like make sure that you're well prepared. If you're going COVID, say also, I took off my gloves while giving the exam. Again, I don't know if this is good advice to give out on a public forum, but I just could not use the mouse with my gloves. So that was another thing that was there. Talking about the paper, the QA essay part is something where I did not know so I attempted the entire paper except 4 questions in QA MCQ. Apart from that, I attempted 16 in QA MCQ. I attempted 30 in verbal, and QA essay also I attempted all 10. QA essay I attempted all despite not knowing some answers because there was no negative marking. As far as verbal was concerned, I was mentally prepared that I want to attempt everything in verbal with a good amount of accuracy, like 95% types. And I have been decent in verbal, so that is also fine. First, what came up was the QA essay part and MCQ. And MCQ may also, we in our year, in the 2020 year, you can go and check the paper also, like during the video or after the video. There was a caselet on stocks, and it was a very simple DI actually. It is at the end of the QMCQ like always. So that was something that solving gave a lot of marks increase to a lot of people. And you have to choose, right, whether you want to solve that or you want to solve the 4 questions that you're leaving out. So I chose to do the DI, and that was a good decision. But I think for a lot of people that give IPMAT 2021, they would probably advise against doing the DI, because I know people have lost out on marks and the cutoff because of getting the entire DI LR part wrong. So that is about the QA essay and QA MCQ part. About the verbal part, it was fairly simple to do. So paper khatam ho gaya. I was not sure how the attempt was. My mom asked me how was it, and I said I don't know. I attempted these many questions, but I'm again not sure about the accuracy part. And the thing was, we had to rush to the other center to give DUJAT because in 2020 DUJAT and IPMAT was scheduled on the same day, and I had afternoon slot IPMAT and evening slot DUJAT. So went all the way across Mumbai, gave DUJAT, and DUJAT I was not giving seriously. It was not something that I had actively prepared for. So with both the exams done and dusted, went home. I was not sure how my attempt was. तो ये तो हुआ, and ऐसे every day parents would be like result आया. I'm like ऐसे एक दो दिन में थोड़ी ना आता है. फिर after 3-4 days I get an email that you are shortlisted, and I checked it on the website. Like I punched in my seat number and my email ID, like that acts as a username. And I logged in and I saw that, oh, you've been shortlisted for VBA. We had video-based assessment. So the video-based assessment was an entire process. We have a video on it on UniVoyage. And if I can tell you very quickly, they asked us 3 questions. They asked us to make a 3-minute video where one minute we talk about each questions. Now the questions are things about our personality and things about us, and how can you fit that in a minute. So I think that was the real challenge. And also, that something like BBA is something that people can prepare for, like they can get external help in making the video, even though we had just a 2-day time period to do that. And moreover, because it's something that is simpler than an interview, everyone will be very, very good at it. So how do you compete in that population sample? So those were a few concerns that were there, but I finished my VBA, and if you want, we can release it on uni also. I mean the channel, and we can share a couple of more also if you want. So that got over, and after 1 or 2 days, I get an email saying, results are out. So I went and I checked on the website, similar login system only. And they said that you have gotten provisional admission rank 14. And I thought provisional admission kya hai? Matlab hua hai, nahi hua? I was still not clear. None of us were clear. At that point of time, I just knew Rushil, who was giving IPMAT. Apart from me, I did not know anyone else who was giving the exam. So I messaged him and he said, same, even I've gotten a similar message that provisional selection hua hai. But we were both not sure कि hua hai, matlab actually हुआ है कि provisionally है, as in we are in some shortlist and there is another group of people that are selected for sure. But the next day we got clarity, and then we had to do the entire procedure. Also during the procedure there was this big dilemma कि लेना चाहिए कि नहीं लेना चाहिए, and my parents were like, are you mad? It's an IIM, you should definitely go for it. There were people who said that the same concerns about IIM Indore not being at the top, IIM Ahmedabad being at the top, and things like that. But I spoke to the seniors and they had such a positive feedback about the program. And now after being 2 years in it, I can understand why. Like I remember asking questions like, is it even worth it if I do 5 years to my seniors? And they were like, this is such a stupid question. It is obviously worth it. We are banking on the program and we feel it has a lot of merit. So you should definitely consider, I mean, this is not something that you should decide on whether the career prospects after IPMAT are things that you want to go for. So this happened and we joined IIM Indore, and within 2 weeks there was a senior junior meet of Bombay people in IIM Indore. Post the meet, Aditya, Rushil and I and another boy from our batch sat in a Zoom call till the middle of the night discussing startups and thinking कुछ तो करना है. अब हम IIM Indore में आ गए तो हम business बच्चे हैं, like we need to कुछ उखाड़ना है. Like we were very pumped up and we had a lot of enthu and we thought we were going to kill it. So after that we were still discussing ideas, and in that very call we also discussed about how we face a lot of issues in our respective coachings, that there were things that were not well done despite them being very big names. There were things that were off. Like I said, ऐसे लग रहा है कि CAT का material ही उठा के IPMAT में they are giving. It's not catered or tailor made for IPMAT students just because a smaller amount of people give it compared to CAT. So we identified this problem, and we did not have a lot of knowledge source also at that time. Because even talking to an IPM IIM Indore student, ऐसे LinkedIn के through message करना पड़ता था. Some people would reply. There was not इतना easy access as it is now. So we started a YouTube channel, UniVoyage, and now it has, it has become like a proper company, and we are trying to help people in both ways, like paid customers who have enrolled with us for our course, and even people otherwise who can't opt for it, then through our YouTube channel and through Telegram. So that was something that has been there. Talking about my last 2 years in IIM Indore, I can't tell you how well this college has treated me in every way possible. The amount of opportunities here are limitless. Like, I'm not even talking about just academic, even non-academic. So talking about the academic front, the faculty is really good. And I know this because I was in a junior college in 11th and 12th. So I knew how normal Indian government colleges function, like their curriculum and their faculty. And after that experience, coming to IIM Indore, where you are given reading material delivered to your house, or it's up there on a Google Drive, where there is reading material from different books and different sources, and you have assignments. You have a class participation component. Like 20% of your grade is just how you participate in class. So it's the same like how a CAT PGP program would have a grading system. It's very similar to that, and a lot of courses are also either similar or act as foundations for your MBA so well. So IPMers usually go on to PGP, to do their MBAs with very good academics because they have had a very strong, rigorous course in the first 3 years. So academics wise, I would say that I did not really have any complaints as such. Sometimes you feel like it is too much because it is Monday to Saturday, you have 10 to 5:30. Initially, I would feel like this is some kind of unfair thing jo mere saath ho raha hai, because my friends had 3 to 4 hours of classes a day max. And I had 10:30 to 5:15 every day with like a 1 hour break in the middle. And I felt like this is too much. But over the period of time, I've learned to handle that much workload. And I think IIM Indore has helped a lot in that, to just push us. And it keeps pushing you. Like there are times when there will be so many assignments and it will just push you to take on more in the future. And I've spoken to people in MBA from my course, and they have a similar account that MBA will be more tough than this, and IPM prepares you for that. So that is something on the academic front. On the non-academic front, there are so many opportunities. Like if you want to do research, you can develop a good relation with your professors and you can reach out to them. If you want to go for any sort of clubs and committees, IPM, it has been running since 2011. So a lot of clubs committees have been established, and you sit for election processes, which are very rigorous. It's a competitive environment, so it pushes you. And there are a lot of opportunities for you to do different things. Like we have different kinds of committees. In my first year, I was a part of the media committee, right? So I was able to, the IPM IIMI page that is there on Instagram. So the media committee actually handles that, and I was able to push out some posts for that and help a little bit here and there on Quora and other media handles that represent IPM. So that is just one example. In my second year, I was able to work for fests. Like one of my fest experiences was corporate relations, where I was given the chance to get sponsorships for the fest. And because of that, I spoke to so many big companies, and that is when I realized the weight of the IIM Indore name. Like that name you can use and you can get their help and their support for your fest. And at the same time, you learn so many things like negotiating with companies and communicating. So that is there. And more than anything, I feel like what IIM Indore gave me was access to, people in UniVoyage, and gave me a chance to build uni, because I feel like if I had not been in this college, I would not have started this. And the most that I have learned in the last 2 years has been through this startup experience of mine. Like every time you face some kind of problem statement, like what price do I set for the course, or how do we market a particular thing, or how do we work about balancing content for YouTube and content for the course that we are providing to our paid users. And another thing that we came up with for UniVoyage was a mentorship program, which we thought is something that is very unique to us. No other person can replicate what we have as a mentorship program, which is that we are giving you access to an IIM Indore student who has cleared the exam, and they will help you out in your process of clearing the exam. So they'll tell you the mistakes that they made that you can avoid, or some things that they did right that can help you, and you get access to them, so you can talk to them anytime. Like, you can just message them, and you can learn from their experiences. If you want any insights into the IIM Indore life also, that can also be given. And the best part is we always sit to and through your way to IPM, which is so apt because a lot of people that got in through uni in 2021, some of them I still talk to and help out as and when I can for their elections or any other processes that they sit for. And that is the benefit of having a connection with a senior. So even through the mentorship program, you get into IIM Indore, you will have that access to that same senior who can help you out. And even if you don't, I have spoken to so many people who did not end up getting in, but they called me up saying, thank you for your help. And can you guide us now about internships, or how do I apply for so and so program or so and so course? And we have done that and given that help as well. So that was something that I felt like uni gave me a chance to connect with so many students and to talk to so many people. And sometimes I'm overwhelmed with messages, so I'm not able to reply to everyone, but I just feel like I feel like we are all very privileged to be able to help you guys out and to be able to feel connected to so many people. So I would thank IIM Indore for that the most, to be honest. And I've learned a lot through this entire journey. Even Rushil and Adi have, they would agree with me that we have learned a lot through that entire journey. So yeah, this has been my entire IIM Indore experience. The college has a lot to offer. I know that there are certain apprehensions, and there is so much good news also that we get. Like, I've spoken to seniors where they've told us about placements, and now IPMers are getting highest packages, and it's very promising for an IPMer as well if you have good grades and if you have a certain kind of profile. So there is no bad thing as such about the program, but it's just that if you are someone that would want to go for some kind of specialized thing instead of a more general approach, then maybe you can think of some other kind of course. But in my opinion, 100% would recommend. You are not doing anything wrong, so don't worry about that. Yes, the financial aspect, if that is something that hinders you, there are loans and there are schemes. And again, that is a subjective choice that people take depending on their own situation. So that is there. But all in all, I hope this video gave you a little bit of insight on IPM IIM Indore as a course. You get a lot more insight once you join. You get to know about IIM terms that are very common to MBA or IPMers also. You learn about processes. A lot of things will even shock you once you join in, like in a good way, obviously. I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, in my first few days, I was just shocked by the amount of talent in the batch. People were so smart, and I felt like I had so much to learn and so many different ways to grow. Even right now, people are interning in either founders office roles, or some people are starting their own new communities and channels. So I think that is very inspiring and something to learn from peers. So yeah, all in all, I would say that if you're preparing for IPMAT IIM Indore, you're not doing anything wrong. I think you are in a very good place. Keep pushing yourself to work harder. If you need any kind of help, remember UniVoyage is there. We've always been there. And you can even reach out to me on my Instagram. Thank you, Entrance PRASHIKSHAN, for having me and for asking me to talk about my journey. I hope this helped you. And yeah, thanks a lot.